All right, let's take a look at 21.
I get it, but I don't know what you convert.
Okay, so if I'm looking at that, for me, I would convert 6 feet into inches. How many inches in a foot? So if you have 6 feet, you had what?
12 times 6.
That's exactly correct, kiddo. So
Can
you,
do inches in the feet because there's 12 inches.
well, you can, but it's not exactly. You with me? It would create a fraction. Because 14 inches isn't exactly 1 foot or 2 foot. It's in between 1 and 2. You with me on this now? So 14 inches would be 14 inches. 12 inches is equal to 1 foot, right? So you'd have 1 foot and you'd have an extra 2 inches. Well, you would say 2 inches out of 12 inches would be 1 1/6 of a foot. That makes it harder, doesn't it? You see what I'm saying, right? Because 14 inches isn't exactly so many feet, it'd be different if it was like 24 inches or 36 inches or 48 inches, because those are exact number of feet. But 14 inches isn't exact. You with me now, right? So we would say 6 feet represents how many inches? Somebody? 6 feet.
72.
Right, so we could say 72 inches out of what? 14 inches, and then we could reduce. All right, you could reduce by 2, so you could say that's just 36/7. All right, everybody okay with that? Come on. All right, take a look at your answer. Yes, sir. All right, well, I'll look at both of them. All right. A department store conducted a study to determine what age groups shop in each store. Express the ratio of ages 0 to 17 to 18 to 30. So you just say 25/75. That's exactly correct. That's all we're doing on that. Good for you, Aiden. Yeah, that's what, 21. Yeah, that's what we just did over here. 19, that's okay. So yeah, so good. So let's look at, hey, I'm on 19. The first thing we have to try to figure out is how many ounces in a pound. Remember how many ounces in a pound? 16. Thank you very much. Everybody has the ability to look that up, and I told you you're responsible for looking that up. I don't care. All right? Units, you can look that up. I would hope you would remember 16 ounces in a pound, but just practice more. So if you have 2 pounds, that means you have how many ounces? That's right, 32 ounces. And that just reduces to what? 1/8. Right? You see it now, though, right? 4 to 32 reduces to 1/8. Yes. Well, because every pound has 16 ounces. Yes, ma'am. You with me? Anybody else have any issues with last night? Good for you. Tell me.
B and C.
Good job. B and C for 25. Okay, so it says here, order the animals from greatest mass to heart ratio. So this is kind of annoying, right? So greatest mass would be this, to heart ratio would be that. So now listen, I want everybody to take their calculator out because I think this is a really important problem. Everybody take it. Now, does everybody hear me now? Sometimes fractions are easier and sometimes what? Decimals are easier. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody with me? Now, this is a very good question. Thank you. I want everybody's attention. All right? We're doing, it says specifically the mass to the heart rate. So over here for the cat, what I want you to do is, on your paper, I want you to write down cat is equal to 2,000 to 150. Everybody see that? Now, I don't really like comparing fractions. I'd rather compare what? Decimals. So I want you to take on your calculator and do 2,000 divided by 150. Somebody tell me what that decimal was.
13.333.
So 13.3 repeated, right? Now everybody should be able to tell me that's the same as 13 1/3, but that's okay. Now that's for the cat. Now we're going to do the cow. The cow would be what? 800,000 over 65. And somebody do 800,000 divided by 65 and tell me what that is. Go. Good for you.
So I never got 13.3. I got 40.
200 divided by 150.
I got 40 over.
Okay, because you did it as a fraction, right?
I just fraction.
So I want you to do 200 or 2,000 divided by 150. Now, 40 over 3 you want written as a decimal. All right, so let me fix this in. Fraction, decimal. Let me just touch upon this, okay? And then I'll try to fix that. This is kind of like what we had last year. Pretty simple. All right, so now do that. All right, sorry for the delay. Yes. What's 80,000 divided by 65? What was that?
I got 1, 2, 3, 0, 7, 20.
So about right there, 123.07. Do you agree? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Right, and then after the cow comes the hamster. And so for the hamster, that would be 60 divided by 450, and that's what?
I thought the cow one would be 12,000.
That's what I got.
80,000. Oh, because I wrote 80,000. That's totally my fault. Yeah, I thought it said 80,000, but it's 800,000. You see what that? So just divide 800,000 divided by 65, and it should be what now?
12,000.
12,000?
Yeah, 12,000.
All right, so roughly about 12,000. Does everybody agree with that? Sorry, that was my fault. All right, now do 60 divided by 450, and what's that? Come on, I'm relying on you guys. Point what?
0.13.
About 0.133, roughly. I'm not, because we're making a comparison. I think it's easy to compare these. And then last, we're going to do the horse, right? And the horse is 1,200,000 divided by 44. And somebody tell me what that is. 44. What was that?
It's 27.727.
All right, so it's just a bunch of repeated 27. Is everybody good with that? All right, so if you had to pick this, now I would kind of expect you to kind of figure this out, right? But we're going from least to greatest, right? So does everybody understand why decimal is better than a fraction on this case? Because I can just look at these numbers and say the hamster's the what? The least. And then it becomes the cat, right? And then the what? The cow, and then the horse. So bear with me. Now this is a good example of where I don't like fractions. I prefer to see the what? The decimal. And that's why I want you to use a calculator. All right? I don't want you to do all that by hand. All right? I want you to use your calculator to see the results real quick.
Yeah, I wasn't using my calculator last night.
Yeah,
Not
you
now.
see.
Yeah.
You understand how much easier it is,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Okay. Hey. What? All right. So let's go ahead now. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I don't know who, Ian, you asked me about that, right? Is that good now? You understand it? Okay.
Wait, Mr. Straw, I have a question, but like not about on a question. So what if here, wait,
I've seen two.
it was like 18 quarts over 4 gallons. Would you just the same thing except times the.
Say that again.
There was a question that said 18 quarts over 4 gallons over 20. Would you do the same thing as you did at 4 gallons over 18 quarts?
It's just asking you to write it in that specific order, right? So
Yeah,
you would.
but you have to times something.
So 18 quarts is the same as 16 quarts
Yeah, that's
for
what I was
4.
asking. I didn't know if you did the same thing or not. Like,
I don't know what you mean.
all right, you answered my question.
Okay, go.
It says greatest to least.
Did it say greatest to least? Yeah, okay, so it's in the wrong order. Thank you for that. All right, it's supposed to be the greatest to least. Bradley, I'm telling you, man. I don't want to hear you anymore today. Is everybody okay with that? He corrected me. That's very good. It was greatest to least, not least to greatest. Any questions? All right, let's go ahead and get started with today's assignment because I think today's assignment is going to be kind of easy too. So make sure your name's on this. I want to take a look at it, guys. I want to see how you're doing. Make sure your name's on it. And while you're collecting that, let's go ahead now. And today's assignment is 5.2. All right, today's assignment is really simple also. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Good. Good. Thank you. All right. Come on, man. Come on, bud. Here you go. Thank you. I got it. Thank you, girls. Thank you. Girls. Thank you. Lisa, did you get all your work done?
Yeah.
Thank you. And again, it's very helpful with the calculator. All right. Now, again, remember what I said, though. Not all problems are done with the calculator. All right. The easy ones, no calculator. Like those ones we're just doing right now where you had to divide, compare the decimals. All right. Come on now. I want trouble on you. Seems like you're sitting with trouble right now. All right. Now, today at the top, head your paper. 5-2, page 191, numbers 1 through 23.
Page
191, numbers 1 through 23. Now have your calculator out, because today's a good calculator day also. But we're going to practice some of these without a calculator, okay? Because I want to work on the mental math here. All right, eyes up, eyes up, eyes up. Now, for today, we're going to learn what a unit rate is. So remember, we did this last year too. Unit rate, remember what unit stands for? Unit just means how much for what? One. All right, so look up here for question number 1. It says, it's going to cost you $120 for 5 days of work. So I want to figure out, well, how much is going to cost me per what? Per day. So what do you think I have to do? Yeah, just do 120 divided by 5, but not on a calculator. No calculator. Put your calculators down. Brother, put yours up somewhere where I can't, no, because I can't trust you right now. Now, remember you're dividing. All right, now I want to show somebody a couple things about how to divide in your head good. All right, put your hands down. I know you know what the answer is. I'm not arguing with you. All right, I'm going to try to teach you something. If I'm dividing 120 by 5. All right, for those of you guys who didn't have me last year, here's how I was trying to show some of the kids. I just want you to set it up as a fraction. All right, that's what I want on your paper, 120 divided by 5. Now you're just going to say, how many times does 5 go into 12? Twice, with how many left over? Now, I told kids to put a 2 up here in this corner. So you can see now that's a what? 20. So now 5 goes into 20 how many times? 4. I don't need a calculator for that. All right, I don't need a calculator for that. So that is what? $24 per what? $24 per day. That's how you're supposed to write it.
You just do like a dash that way for.
That's exactly correct. Now, I want to show somebody else this too. I want everybody to write this down. 120 divided by 5. Come over here because I'm trying to show you how to do better with numbers. Now, dividing by 5 is not that hard. Can anybody tell me, is dividing by 10 really easy?
Yeah.
Yeah, dividing by 10 is easy. So I want everybody to look up here. All right, look up what I'm going to show you. So I try to convert things into tens. So what I did was I just said 120 is the same as 240 over 10. Shh. Everybody see that? I just knew I can divide by 10 really easy, so I just multiply the top and bottom by 2. Everybody agree with that? And now, when you divide by 10, you just move the decimal what? To the left once, right? So the same answer. Does everybody agree? So it's still just $24 per what? $24 per day. So it's kind of boring today because you're going to listen to me. You're going to listen to me try to help you with your understanding of numbers. Is that okay with what I just said? If you don't understand what I'm saying, it'd be kind of nice if you told me. It doesn't matter that you don't understand. I'm trying to show you a different way of looking at numbers so your mental math becomes better. So when you take standardized tests, you'll have more time if you can do the numbers quicker. So very good on that. All right. So now let's look at question number 2. All right. Now this one is what? 275 miles I can drive on what? 14 gallons. Does everybody agree? And I just want to figure out how much I can do in what? In what? In 1 gallon. I don't care how much I can do in 14. I want to know how much I can do in 1 gallon. So if we had our calculator, we'd just do 275 divided by 14. But we're not. We don't have a calculator. We don't have a calculator right now. We're trying to practice the mental math. So here we go, guys. How many times does 14 go into 27? Once. Now, try to work with me on this, all right? Try to work with me. Don't let the same person answer the question, all right? Now, your job is mentally. How do I do 27 minus 14? What would I get there? Say it. 13. So now what I'm trying to teach you is that I want the 13 up in this corner. Somebody agree? So now I'm trying to figure out how many times does 14 go into 135. Now do we agree it's pretty close to what? 10, right? Because 10 times 14 is what? 140. Right? So we're going to try 9. All right? Now, 14 times 9. All right? Just for practice, guys. What's 9 times 10? 90. Come on, I want you doing it with me. 90. What's 9 times 4? 36. If I add those, that's what? So does it go in 19 times? Yes. So it's going to be 19. Now remember, this was 126. So now I need a what? Decimal. Does everybody agree with that? Kind of annoying, but let's put down a decimal. And then there's a what? 0. Now what's 135 minus 126? Come on. So we're going 135 minus 126. Well, the first thing I do is say the hundreds. What happens to the hundreds?
They cancel.
They cancel. So you're just going 35 minus 26 is 9. All right? So a 9 goes up here, 90. Now we're trying to say how many times does 14 go into 90? Come on now. We can do better than that. Don't listen to him. You're supposed to think on yourself. Come on now. 6 times. All right? 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 4 is 24. 60 plus 24 is 84, which is real close. You're hearing me, right? So we're going 6. So 19.6. Right? 19.6. And then we already said 19 times 6 was 84. So how many are left over? 6. So another 0 and throw up a 6. Now does it look like it's going evenly? No. So from this point we can say roughly what?
19.6 miles a gallon.
19.6 miles every what?
Yeah.
Every gallon. So now take out your calculator and everybody do 275 divided by 14.
It's
And see-
19.64285.
Yeah. Is everybody good on
Yeah.
that? Now again, I'm not the calculator you can use tonight. Right now, you're working with me on practicing your mental. Now look, some of you I can't do what's in your head, right? I don't know if you're following along with me, right? But you have to be following along with me if you're going to get better at it. All right, there's no point just sitting there. Thomas, are you working with your head in here? All right. Ian, you with me? All right, you got to practice. You got to try. All right, if you're not trying, it's not helping. You got to get better with numbers. All right, that makes you smarter. You can do the work faster. What?
So when you're doing the division thing, first you do like you see at the bottom of the first two.
That's right.
What happens if you just like two numbers on top?
Well, then it would be an easier problem. Like 14 goes into 27, almost twice. You with me? That's what we're trying to show you. All right. So let's go again. Let's check out number 3 here. Now, number 3 is a very nice problem. All right. So I need 338 points in 16 games. So here's what I want to do. Everybody write down 338 and 16. Now, how do I know this is, what are you thinking? Yeah, that's right. Points per game. But I know I'm dividing. You with me on this? Now, this one's not too bad because 16 goes into 33 is not that hard. Do they agree? So how many times does 16 go into 33? Twice. 16 goes into 33 twice. With how many left over? 1. Is everybody comfortable with that? So now I put a 1 up here in this corner. 16 goes into 18 how many times? Once. All right, now I have an issue because I need a decimal and a 0. 2 left over. Thank you very much. All right, now 16 goes into 20. Uh-oh, I almost forgot my what? My decimal. 16 goes into 20 how many times? Once, right? With 4 left over. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll just carry it out to a decimal, to the tenths. Is everybody with me? So now, she's correct. We would say 21.1 what?
Points per game.
Points per game. Now, if you ever watch any sports statistics, sometimes they have these numbers, right? 21.1 ppg. That just means fancy for what? Points per game. All right, points per game. Does anybody have any issues with that? Now take out your calculator. Let's double check our work. 338 divided by 16. 338 divided by 16.
21.125.
Yeah, and so on, right? Do I care about moving on to all those decimal points? No, because we're working on the mental math. All right, working on the mental math. All right, let's check out question number 4 now. All right, let's check out 4. All right. So now I'm doing 1949 divided by 6. All right, now really concentrate with me. Come on, guys. We're doing money, so we got to round to the nearest penny, correct? So, Carmen, I want you to help me. 6 goes into 19 how many times? 2 times 6 is? No. Well, yes. So it wouldn't be 2 times, but what?
3 times.
Yes, listen to me. Please don't worry about it. All right, there's nothing. Everybody's got little things they're working on. Don't worry. You hear me? I mean that. Okay, just try. Every day you try, get a little better. All right, so 6 times 3 was, you said 18. Do you know how many's left over now? Right, so I put a 1 up here. Now, don't forget, thank you. Don't forget the what?
Decimal.
Don't forget the decimal, so I'm throwing down the decimal. All right, Carmen, tell me how many times 6 goes into 14. Yes, there you go. So now you put down a 2. How many left over? 2. Beautiful. Now, think about it. 6 goes into 29. Four times. Good job, kiddo. Good to think. All right. 6 times 4 was? 24. How many left over? Now remember, we're going to, yes. All right. So now, it's roughly now what? Since we're going to the nearest penny. Is everybody okay with that? Everybody okay? We could say about 324, right? And we would say, for this problem, number 4, we would say $3.24 per what? Per pound. All right, now, of course, everybody take out the calculator. 19.
3.248.
Okay. Now, if I were doing a better job on this, if I wanted you to go, since it was 3.248, I would probably say it'd be better to change that to 3 what? 3.25. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Everybody good on that? Now, listen, I'm asking you to use your calculator now. Brandon, now's the time to use your calculator. All right, before you were using calculator, I said don't use it. Now I say use the calculator, you're not using it. Everybody has got to do the numbers on the calculator to verify things. All right? So does everybody agree we could change this to what? 3.25, be a little bit more accurate. All right, now let's look over at number 5. All right, so now we're talking about 17 divided by 4. 17 divided by 4. All right, go ahead, Chloe.
4 goes into 17.
Exactly. How many left over? Shh. 1. So now I need the decimal. Okay, so 4 goes into 10.
4 goes into 10.
Right, how many left over?
2.
Now does everybody see what I'm doing on here? And then 4 goes into 20. Beautiful. So now we say what? What would it be?
4.2.
4 gallons.
Whoa. You're just doing...
25 gallons.
That's exactly correct. Gallons per minute. Gallons per minute.
I just did that one.
Good. All right. Now everybody check their calculator. 17 divided by 4.
It's right.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's what we're looking at. All right. Justice, you doing okay with this?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Let's take a look now at number 6 now. All right, one more to practice, then I'm going to turn you loose. All right. Yep, so for number 6, I'm doing 180 feet in what? 19 seconds. So everybody agree if that would have been really nice if it was what? 190. Then it would just be what? 10. So is it more than 10 or less than 10? Less than 10. So we should probably try what number? 9, right?
I don't know why.
That's all right, 9. Does everybody agree? So now we're going to do 19 times 9 to see what happens. Now, here's where I'm trying to help you be smarter. I'm not doing 19 times 9. I'm going to do 20 times 9, and then I'm going to subtract 9. Everybody with me on this? I'm counting by what? 9s.
Wait, why would you?
I'm just listen to my explanation.
Okay.
Right? I'm asking for 19 9s, correct?
Yes.
Instead of doing 19, I'm going to do what? 20. Because 20 times 9 is easy. What's 20 times 9? 180. And then that's 1 9 too many. So it would be what? 171. So that's how when people say 19 times 9, they can do 171. You go, oh my gosh, that's so fast. How did you do that? Now, come on, you have to admit that's not that hard. 19 times 20 minus 9. Does everybody see that? Is that good? Good? All right. So now, 19 goes into 180 how many times? 9 times, we said, right? Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
And then how much is left over? 9 left over, agreed? So then 90. How many times does 19 go into 90? Now instead of thinking 19, think of it as what? 20. 20 goes into 19, or 20 goes into 90 how many times? 4 times. Beautiful. So now I'm going to put down a 4, and 4 times 19 is 4 times 10, and then 4 times 9. 36. Add them together, that's what? 76. All right. Now, if I subtract them from 90, what do I get? Subtract them from 90. 76, 86 plus
14.
14, right? Is everybody with me on that? Hopefully. 14. Now it's just 19 goes into 140. All right. I don't really care about that anymore. Because we said we're going to the nearest what? 10th. And I'm not dealing with money. Right? So this is going to be about 9.4 what? 9.4 what? I'm talking about units.
Feet per second.
Feet per second. About 9.4 feet per second. Now I'm asking you to verify on the calculator. And when you did that, it was about 9 point what? About 9.47. All right. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? I don't think that's that bad. So again, finding a unit rate, you're just dividing the two numbers. You're just dividing the two numbers. All right. Let me see what's coming up now. All right. Let's just do 7. All right. I want to get all this information out of the way because I think today, or this problem right here is interesting. It says, Jamal is comparing price of several different brands of peanuts. Which brand is the best buy? Now I'm going to go ahead and let's use a calculator on this. All right. I want the best buy. That means I want to know how much per ounce. I want to know how much per ounce. Now here they're trying to trick you a little bit because, sorry about that, because they've got it in a reverse order. Now think about this. Look up, look up, look up. Hey, I'm trying to show you how you always can tell what numbers you're going to divide. No, not the bigger number. Definitely not the bigger number. That's how you do that. I want everybody to listen to me. This is the important part. I'm trying to figure out the cost per ounce. Listen to me now. I'm trying to find, Thomas, the cost per ounce. Does everybody agree with that? What number did I write down first? Cost. So what do you think goes first? The price goes first. The price would go first. You understand what I just said on that, right? Cost is first. So what is the cost for the first brand? So we would say 3.39 over 10 ounces. Now divide that out, which we don't need a calculator on that. That would be point what? $339 per what? Per ounce. That's how easy it is.
Wouldn't it give you 34 cents?
Yeah, we can round that to 34 cents. But if the others are close to 33 cents, I want to make sure I get the right one. All right? So now, for the next brand, you're doing 4.54, and you're dividing that by 14. So everybody take out the calculator now. 0.347. Now don't take his word for it. Is that good?
I think it's 0.332.
Shh. I'm saying everybody should be able to tell me. Type 4.54 and divide it by 14. Is it? Okay. He said it wrong. 3 what? Okay, 0.324. Is that what you're saying now? Okay. $0.324 per ounce. And now, I've got the next brand, 6.26 for 18. Carter. 0.367 per ounce. Now, does everyone understand how this is kind of helpful? Does everyone understand how kind of important this is, right? When you go to the grocery store, there's all these different types. Does everybody agree? And you just want to find, I know some of you just think you're just getting the cheapest one, whatever costs less. But just because it costs less, does that make it the cheapest?
No.
No, because you might not be comparing the same size. Is everybody with me on this? What?
I got point.
I got a
Shh, I'm listening.
I got 0.347.
Is it 347 or 367? I just might have put down 6. I'm sure he said 4. I just wasn't paying attention. All right, so here we go. So do you agree? Does everybody agree that should have been 0.347? Yeah, is that good? All right. So now, if you had to say what's the best deal, you would say the what?
Chips. Nuts.
Yeah, this guy right here, the second brand would be the best buy. And the reason it would be the best buy is because you're strictly comparing how much per ounce. So 0.324 is less than the others. All right. Is it really that much difference? No, because the first one here, if we're looking strictly at cents-wise, does everybody agree this one's about 33 cents? This is about 32 cents. So there's about what difference? A penny. And then this down here, there's like 2 cents difference. So in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? No, if we're talking a couple of pennies. Ian, that's what I'm saying. I'm always watching you guys. And when I have my little conference, this is what I talk about. What?
Why do they sell peanut packs? It doesn't make sense.
10 ounces?
They're like, oh, how much is a peanut?
Okay, 10 ounces. They're 10
I
ounces.
thought it was like
All right. All right, so now let's go. Last one for me. Number 8. Okay, it says Aisha drove 170 miles in 2.5 hours. And at the same rate, how far will she drive in 4 hours? So now I need to figure out how much she's driving per hour. All right, so if I'm going to find out how much Justice, how do I figure that out?
We put 170 over 2.5.
You are awesome. Thank you. You're going to do 170. Nobody's asking you. 170 divided by 2.5. And tell me what that is, Justice. On your calculator, just tell me what it is. Does everybody agree? 68 point.
Yeah, 68.
I just got 68.
Justice.
Oh, I accidentally put 1, 2, or 1.
Hey, just let him do 170 divided by 2.5 again, Justice. Not a big deal. What did you get again? 68. So we're at 68 miles per what? Hour. Does everybody agree with that? So that means you can go what? 68 miles every what? Every hour. So the question is, think about it carefully. If I can go 68 miles in 1 hour, how many miles could I go in 4 hours? Wait a minute. I'm asking Carly a question. Now listen to me carefully, Carly. I'm going to demonstrate this up on the board. You ready? So 68 miles per hour. So I'm getting in my car, right? And I'm going to drive 68 miles per hour. So that means in 1 hour, listen to me, in 1 hour, how far down the road am I going to be? No. Listen to me now, please. Listen to me, Carly. Listen. I'm trying to make sure that you understand what 68 miles per hour means. Hey, everybody's got to listen to this. That means if I get in the car and drive for 1 hour, how far down? Just stop. I'm talking to her. What? But you're answering the question instead of answering my question. So if I drive for 1 hour, how far down the road am I going to be? 68. That's exactly correct. All right. So in 4 hours, I'm going to be how far down the road? How are you getting 100? Well, let's see if you understand what I'm saying. So look right here real quick. So in 1 hour, this represents 68 miles. Right? So hold up. The next hour, well, here, we'll finish this conversation tomorrow. But it is 68 times 4. What was 68 times 4? How much?
272.
Yeah, your homework is 9 through 23. Make sure you take care of the business. With a calculator.